time for Cigar Talk, the fastest growing cigar show in the nation. Whether you're a new cigar enthusiast or a cigar aficionado, we have something for everyone, bringing you the best interviews, cigar reviews, and weekly giveaways. So grab yourself a cigar.
It's time to light 'em up.
Welcome back, Cigar Talk. I'm your host, Rob Jones. We have co-host Bryant Falconer in the studio. How you doing today, Bryant?
Hey, man, I'm doing good.
Man, it's good to have you over here. You know, we've been doing this once a week where we get together and record the show, but man, it's nice to actually hang out with someone in person and smoke a cigar.
Tell the truth.
You know what I mean?
Truth.
It's like we've been doing the Zoom a lot lately, and that's been, it's like helped a lot with not being isolated.
Yeah, but it's still the social distancing.
Yeah, and
it's serious social distancing.
Yeah, I mean, last time we had one, we had guys in Florida, California,
Ontario,
Boston,
Canada.
Toronto, Canada,
Yeah.
Texas,
California,
St. Louis.
Yep.
So, I mean, people are tuning in on the Zoom meetup, and it's a great way to socialize that we can't go to our local lounge.
Tell the truth.
But the one day a week that you come over and hang out, it's like, man, this is really, even though the Zoom is nice, it doesn't completely replace what it's like, in person.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't get to make fun of you on Zoom as much as I would in person because I can't see you.
I get to make all the fun.
So anyway, let's talk about what we're smoking today.
Most definitely.
I am smoking an AJ New World.
Good
and
stick.
This is the Cameroon.
It's a good stick,
dude.
Man.
I'm digging the Cameroon. Yeah. It's a semi-box press. Because it's not like squared off and tight. And it's a really nice, it's a torpedo tip, and I love this cigar. It's definitely, for me, it's a medium plus.
I noticed something. You straight cut that one.
Yeah. Usually on the torpedoes, I do straight cut them. Every once in a while, I'll do the deep V, but I think that a torpedo should be straight cut. That's just me.
Gotcha.
So what are you smoking?
Hey, I'm smoking a Nub Nuance.
A Nub Nuance.
Yeah.
What do you think about that?
I'm liking it. It caught me off guard in the beginning. It was a gift from you, and then it had a little sweet taste on the tip. I was like, whoa, wait a minute.
Yeah.
Is Rob setting me up?
You're like, whoa, what the hell?
From him?
So, but what about it now? I mean, you've been smoking it for a minute.
It's good, man. It's nice. It's, like you said, it would mellow out after the first, say, inch or so. And right now I'm getting those, I'm getting a fruit taste to it, but a little bit more of a mellow, more of a woodsy taste.
Yeah.
And that's good, man. I'm loving it.
Yeah, I'm going to tell you this. When I bought those, I didn't know they had a sweet taste. So you can imagine the surprise when I put that in my mouth. I was like, what the?
The shock and awe.
Yeah, so definitely. But then after you smoke into it, probably within the first half inch to maybe an inch, it really dissipates that sweetness and goes into a woody, nutty type flavor, and it's very enjoyable, especially with a cup of coffee in the morning.
Yeah, I'm drinking with a
tea.
Sweet tea now. Yeah,
nice. So, and I guess I didn't bring my other cup over here. I was drinking tea, but I still have some coffee here.
Yeah, no problem, bro.
And I got to give credit to Vic Anderson sent us a pound of Costa Rican.
Who is us? You and your
Me
wife?
and you, the studio. I got coffee when you're ready.
Oh, okay.
I told
I was like,
I sent you a text and said I'm
you
making
did
coffee.
You did say you were making coffee.
So hats off to our buddy down in San Angelo that works at the Cody Coffee Factory. And so if you guys haven't been able to get coffee, you might be able to go online and check out Cody Coffee and order it straight from the factory. Let me tell you, they do good work.
Yeah.
It's this Costa Rican. He told me up front it might be a little bit more acidic than I'm used to. So when I ground it a little bit less fine.
Okay.
And a lot of times if you'll make it a little more of a coarse ground, it doesn't quite get as acidic. And so I think it's really good. I'm enjoying it. And tell you what, the beans are like dark black and oily. They are beautiful.
Yeah.
So anyway, I'm smoking the AJ and he is smoking the Nub. So we want to say thank you to Vic for the coffee. And hang on one second. I just somehow got out of what we were doing on the view. We're actually recording this. There we are. We're recording this for YouTube. Last week we recorded for YouTube, and then as soon as we got done recording, I lost the video, so I couldn't upload it. So the video thing is kind of new for us, and so we're going to kind of ease into that. Sorry for anyone who went looking for us and couldn't find us.
Yeah, last week.
But anyway, well, let's jump to McAuliffe right quick. Dan came by last night.
Yes, he did.
And, you know,
Leon, the special edition he was smoking.
Yeah, super good stick. I haven't had one of those in a while.
Yeah.
And then I was smoking the Experiencia. No. I was smoking the Medallia.
Yeah, sure.
That's right. And then, so we just want to say thank you to McAuliffe. They're a great partnership with us. We thank them for all that they do. I mean, the list of what they do is pages long.
Oh, tell the truth.
I mean, they are in every facet of the industry trying to be a better steward of the cigar industry for the consumer and the retailers. And so, I mean, whether you're a brick and mortar, what a great partner.
Yes.
And then if you're an ambassador,
what a great partner.
Yeah. And then just for the regular consumers, great partners. I mean, what they're doing is, I don't know of another cigar company that's doing that right now. I mean, they have the ambassador program that's second to none. If you're not an ambassador, go by the link on our webpage, and you can see where it says Become a McAuliffe Ambassador. You sign up.
Free.
Free. You get a challenge coin with your own personal number on it.
Yes.
And then you also get a handwritten certificate. I mean, it's white glove service.
It's a win-win.
Yeah. And then they also have a private Facebook group for the ambassadors, and what a great community.
And it's always rambling. It's not one of those Facebook groups that started off in the beginning real quick and everybody was on and then it dissipated. Man, this thing is still growing. It's still hopping. Dude. Every day it's just content. And then Dan and Amanda, they're in there talking to us.
Oh, yeah.
They're in there conversing with us, back and forth. And it's not just that cookie cutter stuff, man. I mean, they're talking with you, man. Right. They want to know how you feel about things.
And now they're doing their own show, I believe. Is it Off the Record?
Off the Record, yeah.
So, and I mean, like, I talked to Mike Rosales from AromaCraft Thursday night. Yeah. And he was a guest on their show. So I love what they're doing, and just hats off to them. And I mean, if you haven't smoked a McAuliffe yet, you're missing out.
Tell the truth, man.
I mean,
from 4 to 42, bro.
4 to 42. And dude, I mean, the Medallia 6x46 is a $9 stick.
Your favorite.
Dude, I mean, it's a lights out stick for $9.
If you see him with anything other than that, talk to him. It's something going on.
Yeah, last night during the Zoom, I was like, here's a shocker. I'm smoking a Medallia. Yeah. So anyway, we just want to say thank you to McAuliffe for sponsoring the show. We are just honored to have them sponsoring our show.
Yes, we are.
Anyway, let's talk about what's been going on this week. We've got still the coronavirus keeping everybody at home, or at least a good portion of the people.
Unless you're essential.
Yeah, and our guest this week is from the Black Line Cigar Company. We've got Aric, and he is a frontline guy.
Yeah.
He is a EMT and a fireman, and he's done a really great line of cigars. So we'll get into that with him a little bit later, find out his story. And but all those guys, thank you for your service.
Oh, most definitely.
All you guys that are essential workers, hats off to you, man. Because
100%.
While everything else is almost at a standstill, you're keeping everything going
and doing more than what you were doing beforehand, and that's the beauty of it. You didn't ask for more, but you just stepped up. Just stepped up, man. This is the things that they were doing beforehand, and now they're just being noticed a lot more.
Right,
a lot more.
Right. And hopefully they're getting the appreciation they deserved all along.
Oh yeah.
So anyway, let's talk about our pick 6 this week.
Got you, bro.
The 3 cigars that I've been smoking this week is one. I was smoking and it's been a while, but I had the RomaCraft Intemperance. I also had the RomaCraft Neanderthal, the Knuckle Dragger.
Yes, sir. That's my stick, there.
And
that's my stick, there.
Now, I kind of teetered whether I would go all 3 Roma Craft, but I am.
You are?
I am. Last night, I smoked the Wonderlust.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, you did show that on the Zoom.
Yeah. So, Roma Craft, you get the hat trick this week. Great sticks.
Yes.
Great sticks. It's been a while since I've had the Intemperance, and I'm not real sure which size I had, but it was in between a Corona Extra and a Lancero. It was probably about, I don't know, 6 1/4, probably about 6 1/4.
Okay. And
I'm going to guess the ring gauge was about a 48.
Okay.
And so anyway, great stick. Great stick. And then it had been a while since I've smoked a Neanderthal. And I smoked that up there Thursday night. And it's been so long that I had forgotten just how strong that cigar is.
Yes, sir.
It's a punch in the face.
It'll wake you up.
I'm here. You're not going to forget, And then that last night, that Wonderlust, I'll tell you what, I've only had one of those before.
Uh-huh.
And it's been it's been over a year since I've had one.
Okay.
And so I forgot how much I liked it or I didn't like it. I really couldn't remember.
Okay.
And I really enjoyed it last night. It was super medium plus. It wasn't overpowering to me, but it had a lot of nice flavor profiles to it. You know what I mean?
Yes.
And so hats off to Roma Craft. They did a great job. They do a great job on their entire line.
Most definitely.
Anyway, that's my 3 for the week. What do you have?
My 3 are, I had a Perdomo 20th.
Oh, nice.
Sun grown. Yeah, man. It was a nice stick. I actually needed that one because there was some things going on at work, some situations. And I was like, man, I had to take me a break. So I went and took me an hour and a half break. Enjoying me a great stick. The next one was the Espinosa 601 Napalm. Powerhouse. One that like you said, that knuckle dragger lets you know that I'm still here. Don't forget me. And Espinosa's been knocking it out the park here lately.
Dude,
man.
I tell you what, it's hard for me not to put them on the list this week because I was still ramping up on the Espinosas too.
Yes.
Good stick.
Yep. Perfect for last night, man. And today I smoked a Punch Racorojo.
Which one was that?
The Racorojo. That's the one when I walked up. I was smoking when I walked up.
Okay, yeah. You know what I thought that was? I thought that was a last call.
No.
Because I was smoking a last call, and it looked a lot like that stick.
Yeah, it did. At Racorojo, I went to the Leaf, and I was like, man, I told Scott, I said I need a punch. He's like, what? I said, what you got? And he started naming stuff, and I said, Racorojo. Send me that. Send me that, man.
Hey, so let me ask you this. This week when I was at the Leaf, you can still go in the Leaf, pick out cigars, pay, and leave. And so I saw, I believe it was called the Brass Knuckles. Have you seen that one?
No.
It's a punch.
Okay.
$5 stick. And I got to tell you, for $5, good stick. I wouldn't say that I would be smoking a lot of those because they're decent. That's not it.
All right, it's the Knuckle Buster.
Oh, no. That is the stick.
The Knuckle Buster.
Yeah. What did I say? The brass knuckles? Well, because they've got brass knuckles on the logo.
Yeah, you still trying to
the
fight.
Knuckle Busters.
You still trying to fight.
But, at that price point, have you had one yet?
Nope. This will be my first one.
Yeah, I mean, for the $5, $5.50 stick, it's a good stick.
Good.
It's not something that's going to replace some of your go-tos, though. You know what I mean? But at $5.50... it's
you can't be mad about it. And I said, I'm gonna try it. I'm gonna find out where it is with me, and I'll give you a review next week.
All right, cool. Well, let me know because I thought it was appropriately priced.
Okay,
you know what I mean?
Okay.
It's like because if you pay $5 for a stick and it doesn't knock it out of the park for you,
you're not worried about it.
You know what? It was a solid construction, good smoke.
Okay.
With not any crap flavors.
Gotcha.
You know what I mean? Because when you get some cheap cigars sometimes, they can have even good construction, but when it just tastes like dirt. And there's a difference between dirt and soil. Earth. You know what I mean? It's just it's
I got you.
So,
I got you. Oh, man.
So, what have you been doing this week? I mean, you've been working from home?
Yeah, they sent me home. It took me back to right after the surgery, being stuck at the crib.
Yeah, man. It's like an extension.
But the difference is this time, if I need to leave, I can leave. then I couldn't go anywhere.
Right.
I was stuck. But now, every once in a while I go get something to eat instead of ordering it in, or, go to the grocery store, try to grab some stuff at lunch and bring it home so we have groceries and stuff. But it's different, I try to keep the same schedule that I had beforehand, so it's kind of weird getting up at 6:30, getting prepared, and then I got to sit there until 8 o'clock before somebody says something to me. But, it's just keeping that schedule because I know I'm going to have to go back to that schedule because I'll be going back to work in my office. But right now, it's just trying to maintain that mindset that, even though I'm working from home, I'm still working.
Yeah.
And that's the thing about it, with everything that's going on, there is no shortage of workforce because the state still has to keep running. So there are things that are going on and things that are happening federal wise that are affecting us. So we have to prepare for a lot of these things. So it's just like, it's still going head on, head first. So,
well, I tell you what, this coffee that Vic sent, it's really good.
Good. I will find out.
Yeah. I've got some whenever you're ready.
That's why I said I will find out.
I've got a mug with your name on it.
Oh, Lord.
But anyway, what I was going to say is it reminded me of, and I don't know if you guys have ever listened to or watched the videos by Dad Smoking Cigars. Mm-hmm. But Tim and Kyle over there do that show. Great show.
Yes.
But anyway, Tim did a whole review on coffee.
He did.
And I tell you what, I thought I was a coffee snob. Tim kicks it up a notch.
He kicks everything up a notch.
Yeah,
man.
he does.
He does.
And, that's the great thing about their show and Tim is Tim really gives you a very thorough review.
It's knowledgeable. It's truly knowledgeable.
He has a lot of knowledge, and I respect that. And he's a real professional, too. I'm real impressed by Tim and Kyle, too. But this particular video was with mainly Tim doing coffee, and he was using a large French press. Mm. Have you ever used a French press?
Nope.
See, I've never used one before, and that's why I know he's the next level up. Because when you use a French press, first of all, it's not just push a button and the coffee maker makes your coffee. I grind my coffee and measure it out and get it ready, but then I push a button and the coffee machine does the rest. He's actually pouring this kettle into this like a vase, and it's already got coffee in it, and he lets that sit for like, I want to say 2 or 3 minutes while the coffee blooms. And then once the coffee is bloomed, then he pours the rest of the water in, and then he takes this whatever it's a press and he presses it down through there. Well, all the coffee stays under the press, and I mean the ground, and the drinkable coffee stays on top, and then he pours it into his cup. But what he also said, and I thought was very interesting, was if you don't pour all that coffee in a separate container, then those coffee grounds at the bottom continue to infuse that flavor.
So it becomes stronger.
It becomes stronger and maybe not what you're used to. Because what you're pouring at first is what the coffee should be. But then, if you let it sit for another 10 minutes before you have another cup, you've basically
got a Cuban cup of coffee. Cuban coffee.
So anyway, I was going to say, I really enjoyed the video because it was not only a good review, but it was also very educational. Because what I learned was I don't want to do that. I want to push a button. Because it's like, I just pushed the button. I pushed the button and then I just drink coffee.
I want to push the button.
Yes, exactly. But anyway, hats off to those guys over there at Dad Smoking Cigars. They're doing a great job. And if you're a coffee fan, you should definitely go by and check out that episode. Yes. And they do a lot of great reviews across the board for cigars. They review bourbons or scotch, or I think he even does wine. Because, we don't drink wine over here. We were laughing about that on the meeting we had because both Kevin and Tim were talking about wines. And I was like, yeah, because you're in California. Down here in Texas, we drink manly drinks. Bourbon, scotch, whiskey. That's it.
And then Kevin wakes up the next morning. Jones.
Sorry, Kevin, we ratted you out. Just so everybody knows who was on the Zoom, Kevin woke up not feeling too good this morning.
Man, like I said, it was that salad on a cracker he had. Talking about it as a pizza.
Yeah, did you hear my buddy Tim? Where's the meat? Like Wendy's, where's the beef?
Oh, man.
Only in California.
Yes. He brought that pizza out. I was like, man, that's a salad. What's all that green stuff on there?
It was crust and salad. So really it was like breadsticks.
That's what I said. It was a salad on a cracker.
Croutons. The pizza dough is
with some
crouton and then
I
the
got
salad.
you.
So anyway, hey, I wanted to give a shout out to a great friend that I talk to on Instagram a lot, and I'll have to pull up his username, but I call him Cool Hand Luke. He's a truck driver, and dude, first of all, he has a badass semi truck. But let me see if I can find him right quick, because I wanted to share in case you guys want to follow him. What I love about it is, and he's still working. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And in fact, they're working more now than they ever have.
The world, the United States has realized how important the trucking community really is. Because when everything else shut down, guess who was still riding those highways?
Right. Hey, you see that?
That's a bad truck.
That is
man.
a bad truck, man.
Yeah.
It's like almost a gunmetal silver
it sure is.
Peterbilt with the
double
chrome.
stacks.
Yeah, nice. And what was funny was we were talking one day, and he sent me a picture of the cigar he was smoking, and I could see the dashboard of the Peterbilt in the background. And I was like, dude, what are you driving? And so he sent me that picture. I was like, dude, that's a badass truck.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So Cool Hand Luke, man, thanks for what you're doing out there. In fact, all you guys who are truck drivers,
yes, sir.
Thank you for what you're doing, because you are out there on the road. And, I read an article earlier this week that kind of was disturbing, because so many places now are like, no truckers. We don't want any truckers in here because it takes up so much parking or whatever.
Here,
and it's like, hey, those dudes.
Oh, the reason you still open.
In fact, there was one part of the article I read where this guy was delivering to the store, yet they wouldn't let him come in and shop. They wanted his truck out of the parking lot.
You know what? He shouldn't have delivered.
Right.
Kept on going. Since you don't want me here, I'm gone. But see, that's
them being the bigger person.
That's right. That's where I was getting ready to go.
They're not you.
That's being above the ignorance. That's really what it is, being above the ignorance. I still got a job to do, and my job is to make sure that you can take care of yourself and the people that you take care of.
You saw Cool Hand Luke's truck.
Yeah.
I told him the only way it would look better is if he mounted a minigun on the hood. He said, the way it's going, it might not be a bad idea.
We're going to turn into Mad Max for real.
Right.
Yeah, I want to also talk about, not just the truckers, but those other guys out there, like your brother and a friend of mine, Aric, that are doing everything for Brown.
Oh, yeah, Big Brown.
Yeah.
The UPS drivers, those dudes, man.
The postal drivers, FedEx, man. Dude. Those guys are still out there doing everything that they can to ensure that with the postal, there are a lot of people that are, tech savvy. So they had got away from just regular mail. But the ability to have someone write you a letter, or I have people that are talking to me, man, I even like seeing the bills and I was like, really? He said, yeah, because it just lets me know somebody else is out there. I'm not by myself.
Right.
You don't understand how important a person is until they're gone.
True.
Until they're gone. And then when it's gone, that you took for granted, now you're like, oh man, I missed that. But those guys with Big Brown, FedEx, the postal workers, man, down to the janitors, the CNAs. I mean, these people that do the jobs that you like, man, that's a hard. But guess what? It's important. It's necessary. It's essential. And I just hands off to all of them, man. Hands off.
Yeah, I got to see if I can find this meme.
It
might not be appropriate. Shocker.
Coming from you, huh?
Yeah, but you know what? I can't find it right now. Hey, and you know what? I want to give a shout out to Randy Baker up in Lubbock. He's a police officer. And
always,
all your first responders, thank you. But I want to give a shout out to Randy, because he is not only a police officer, but if you're friends with him on Facebook, he doesn't post BS. Mainly what he posts is updates about the police department, the fire department, the EMTs.
Gotcha.
It's like, if you want to know what's going on, and I mean, like when we have fallen brothers or sisters in those departments, he posts those. But then he also posts a lot of funny stuff. He was posting his cooking skills. Did you see any of those?
Not yet.
Dude, it was hilarious.
I've seen a lot of hilarious cooking skills. You know, when you have time on your hands, you develop one or two things. You either go too far over the edge or you find out how funny you really are. Even if it's just to yourself, you find out how funny you really are, man.
Right? Yeah, my wife thinks she's funny. She's not funny. In fact, you remember the story I told you last night?
Yeah.
And I told you what my wife said?
Yes.
You know what I told my wife this morning, that I told you that, and you know what she said?
What'd she say?
We've been married for 25 years. You know that when I tell you something, it's not for everybody else. So here I am telling that part.
I love Miss B, man. She keeps it real. She keeps it real. I guess being with you for 25 years, she has to keep it real.
Well, I tell you, she's like, when I tell you something, that's not for everybody else.
That's cool.
And I was like, you know what I said? Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. And moved on. And moved on.
And then we come out here and I tell you that story. So
she'll find out when she listens.
No, she doesn't listen to the show.
Oh.
No, she does not listen to the show. Okay. Which, you know what, is nice for me.
Yeah, because
now I don't really have to worry about her listening and then me getting some shit later.
Oh man, I love.
Does your wife listen to the show?
Every once in a while.
Okay.
Every once in a while.
Yeah, the only time my wife listens is if we're on a road trip and I
listen to it. Yeah.
Yeah, just so I can.
And I think that's mainly how, because I'll sit there and have it just playing in my little room, and then I know she's listening because she'll turn her stuff down, and then mine is the loudest. So I'm like, okay, she listening to it, and then she'll come in and talk to me. Why did you say that? I'm like, what?
Right.
What are you talking about? I said a lot in that hour. She's like, no, you said this. Oh, man, you had to understand. It was the atmosphere at that time.
It's high rolls.
Yeah.
So,
and I'm going to be me. So
always, 100%.
Yeah, I'm going to be me.
So anyway, I really was wondering if anybody's listening that already knows, I haven't heard yet, but I'm wondering if the PCA is going to cancel in Vegas for July. I kind of think that they're probably going to, but I don't know that yet. And so I was wanting to go.
That's a good question.
And, you know, I figured that they would have already announced it if they were going to cancel, but I guess they're just kind of waiting to the last minute to see if it's going to be a possibility.
Yeah.
But I highly doubt it.
Yeah.
I mean, it is July, though. So, I mean, we still got 3 months.
Yeah. It just depends upon how, because they are projecting that we may get a second wave, how that flows to see where, you know, we'll be again, we'll be. You know, I believe there are a lot of people that are a little bit more educated. I'm not going to say that they're smarter, but I'm going to say a little bit more educated. I told my wife, this is a learning experience.
Oh, absolutely.
100%.
Absolutely.
And if you don't take the opportunities that we are given and the understanding that there are certain things that we have to do, you know, there are things that you want to do that you feel like you should do in your life. But when you come to situations like this, it comes down to what is needed to be done.
Yeah.
And sometimes you have to step back and you do what needs to be done. So I just pray that, you know, we get an understanding and people get a little bit more knowledgeable about the world and what can happen. Because as we're seeing, you know, there are not many of us that were around in 1918. My grandma's 95, and she wasn't around in 1918.
Right.
So there are not many that are still here to talk about what happened then. So,
dude, I saw a picture of a family from 1918, and they were standing out in front of the house. They were all wearing the medical masks. Even the cat had one on.
I mean, well, tigers are getting it in New York, so
right.
So you might as well. That blew my mind because I understand that the coronavirus is an intraspecies virus. It's transmitted from mammals. We all are mammals, but species to species. But for us to be able to give it to a feline like that. That blew. I was like, whoa, that changes the game.
Well,
man.
you know what? To me, it comes back to testing.
Oh yeah,
dude, have you seen how far they stick that Q-tip?
Let me explain something to you. I had surgery in February.
Yes.
Coronavirus wasn't on the map then.
Yeah.
But I had to get tested for MRSA, which is methicillin resistant
MERS.
MERS, yeah. They stuck that Q-tip all the way up there.
Dude.
So I already know how far and how that. When I thought that woman was stabbing me. I actually had to grab my leg because I was ready to punch her.
I thought you were going to say you were reaching for your pistol.
No, I didn't take it into the hospital. I did not take it into the hospital.
Just so everybody knows.
Yes. But man, I had to grab my leg because I was like, I was like, this woman's stabbing me.
Dude, and you seen them like when they're giving the test to someone in a car. I watched it, and it looks like they're shoving it in about 6 inches.
Jesus. But see, I'm ex-medical. I was supposed to be the doctor. My 3 sisters are the nurses. They actually are nurses. I was supposed to be the doctor, so I was pre-med. Do you know what the test was for a venereal disease in the 50s, 40s, 50s, and 60s?
I don't know, and I'm probably glad I've never had it done.
They shoved a glass rod up there.
Woo!
And then broke it. Pop. And when you urinated, they caught it, and that's how they could tell what was in the blood and in the urine.
No way.
Aren't you glad that we live in the age that we live in?
Hey, let me tell you this. I used to work at a job, and I don't know how the topic came up, but everybody was like, if you could pick any time period to live, what time period would you live in? And I was like, now.
100% now.
No question. And this one female was like, I would have wished to live back in the old Western days. And I was like, are you crazy?
Nope.
Do you know how hard those people had it?
Yes.
I mean,
yes.
You had...
Look at the technology.
Every day was survival.
Yes. Look at the technology. You didn't have a machine that would go down the rows and prepare your land to be planted.
They had a mule and a plow,
and you stood behind it
all day.
And then, you and your child had to do this, or it became, if it wasn't a 2-person job, which you got done in a couple of months,
right?
You did it yourself, and you may miss the season,
right?
So now you have,
and if there was any weather, you were done.
You were done.
Yeah,
you were done.
And so when people think about they want to live in a different time period, I'm like,
God knew what He was doing when He said, "You will be born and a child of the 70s."
Yeah, yeah.
He knew what He was doing.
I think it's funny that you just made reference to like you were born in the 70s.
I was born at the end of this. I don't remember anything of 60. Now,
yeah, but
my furthest memory back.
Born in the 70s.
No, I wasn't born in the 70s. I'm a child of the 70s because that's when I was growing.
Yeah.
That's what I said, a child of the 70s. Because my furthest memory back, I remember my 4th birthday, and that was in the 70s.
Yeah, I remember parts of my 3rd.
I remember my 4th because I had a McDonald's birthday.
Let me clarify that. I don't think I remember my 3rd birthday, but I remember my 3rd birthday gift.
What was that?
It was one of those electric cars that you could ride in.
You know what my 4th birthday gift was?
No skates.
No, sir. What? It was a Tonka dump truck.
Oh, nice.
I wanted that so badly. My mother bought that for me. She told me my grandfather bought it for me. It was my birthday present. I had that present for a year, and then the Bryant came in, and I had to figure out how it was put together.
Hey,
I took it completely apart.
Hey, I did that all through my life, and the bad thing is I could never put them back together.
I had to learn to put stuff back together.
I never got it back
because when my mother found the pieces, she found switches. So I had to learn how to destruct it and construct it at the same time.
Nice.
So if it was something I felt like I'm not ready for that, I wouldn't tear it apart.
Well, mainly I was usually taking apart electronics.
Yeah, that's what I got to. When I got to junior high school, any radio was given to me, I'm going in there. Walkie-talkie, because we love walkie-talkies back then, even though you couldn't talk from nowhere but next door.
Right.
But I had to take it apart to understand why. And then motherboard started to work on me then. I was like, what is this? Why is this? What is this? What is this? I love researching stuff, so I had to know.
Well, let me tell you this. You know, we just got a new computer.
Yes, sir.
In the studio. That is the first computer I've bought and not put together myself since 1998.
I'm going to clap my hands because you put them together. That's what I'm clapping my hands
Oh,
on.
well, you know.
That's cool.
I used to build computers for me, but I used to build them for all my friends and other people.
That is cool.
Just because I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
And this year, I was like, no, I'm going to go ahead and let someone else put it on. Because you know what? Technology's changed a lot.
I think it's age. You sitting there like, I'm not going to be.
But let me tell you, what was so impressive about the new PC, when I looked inside, it is so nice and neat. I mean, there's no wires hanging or anything like that, you know.
Okay.
So I was happy to spend a little extra and get a PC somebody else made.
I got you.
So, but anyway, guys, hey, that's going to wrap it up for the first section of the show. Let's get Aric on here and talk to him about his history and his cigars. We'll be right back after the break with Aric. Don't go anywhere. Hey guys, thanks for hanging through the break. We have a special guest with us today. We do have Aric Wimberly from the Black Star Cigar Line. How you doing today, Aric?
I'm doing good. How about you?
Hey, doing well, man. Thanks for joining us. We appreciate you taking the time. Aric sent me some of his cigars. I guess it's been about 4 or 5 weeks ago. And I got to say, man, I was super impressed. You know, I have a lot of people send me cigars, so my expectations are not always very high. And I got to tell you, I started with the War Witch, and I got to say, man, it was really, really good. So hats off. You guys are doing a good job over there.
I appreciate that.
So let's back up and talk about what did you do before you got into the cigar business?
By trade, I'm a firefighter. I'm a Chicago firefighter.
Wow. So that's a interesting gig you got there.
Yeah. I see a lot of interesting stuff. I've been a firefighter for 6 years now.
Wow. So how has the coronavirus affected the firefighting industry in Chicago?
We're taking a lot of precautions, make sure everybody wears face masks, and actually on medical calls, we kind of because I'm an EMT, we let the paramedics go in first, and they assess the situation because, you know, they're more trained than the EMTs are. And then if they need us to come in, then the firefighters come in and help them move a patient or that type of thing. So,
okay. So let me
just
ask,
a little more precautious.
Is Chicago in lockdown, or how is?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
so
we're shelter in place.
Is there a lot less activity that you guys have to respond to now that people are actually, you know, not out and about as much?
Well, actually, with the house that I'm currently working at, we more so go to fires than anything else.
Okay.
So, the medical calls, we don't do a whole lot of them.
So is there less fires?
No, it's just I work near a very active area called Rosen. So
people are sheltering in place, but they're still starting fires.
Oh yeah. So as far as crime and fires, Chicago is still kind of the same. People are still shooting each other, and you know, there's still on the west side and on the south side, there's still buildings that are burning. So it's kind of regular business as far as that.
Crime does not stop.
Yeah, no, it hasn't really slowed down much. It's actually pretty sad. So.
I got you. I just thought maybe since everybody was sheltering in place that, you know, everybody was just kind of taking a break.
Yeah, no.
No.
Not at all.
We want to say thank you for serving and being on the front lines, and make sure you stay safe out there, man.
Yeah, I appreciate it. I will.
How long did it take when you thought, you know what, man, I'd love to get into the cigar industry? How long ago was that?
From the beginning of the process till I actually got the sticks, it probably took me 1.5 years or 2 years.
Okay.
I've heard of other people that were still trying to start a cigar line, and it's been 10 years, and they still haven't accomplished it. So, when people hear, the time frame of when I started the business or got going, they're kind of impressed and always want to know, like, how did I actually pull that off?
Yeah, that's fast track, man. How did you pull that off?
Well, I did a lot of networking. I went to a lot of Drew Estates events, and I got really became pretty good friends with Jonathan Drew, JD.
Okay.
So initially he gave me his email address, and then we kept talking, and then he gave me his phone number. So we would talk from time to time when he wasn't busy, because this is around the time when he was launching his liquor line.
Okay.
So, he would just give me pointers on who to talk to, and, I would follow up, and, I would get several doors closed in my face, and, then I'd go back to him kind of defeated, and he'll tell me like, hey, if you really want it, then you're going to keep on trying. It doesn't matter how many people tell you no, you keep on trying. So I kept trying Sandy from El Titan de Bronze, but she wasn't in the factory at the time because her mother was sick. So I decided to send her some flowers, just to brighten her mood. So I sent her some flowers down to Miami. Still didn't hear anything. So probably another 6 to 7 months went by, and I was actually getting ready to give up. So I decided to call one more time, and her daughter answered the phone at the factory, and I asked for Sandy, and she was like, yeah, she's standing right here. So then Sandy got on the phone, and, I told her who I was, and she said, oh, you're the nice guys from Chicago that sent me the flowers. And I said, yeah. She said, I'm going to go ahead and do that blend for you.
Wow. Very nice.
So, the persistence of keeping calling and then sending flowers and, trying to make sure they knew who I was, it did pay off.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that's rolling up your sleeves, going to work and networking. And I mean, this entire cigar industry is built on relationships. And so it sounds like that's the way you attacked your plan, was building as many relationships as possible. And some doors were closed, and then eventually one opened.
Right.
Well, that's awesome. So have you actually been down there to the factory?
Yeah. When they were rolling the cigars for El Milagro, when they were rolling El Milagro for us, I went and sat and talked to Sandy and smoked with Willie Herrera, because Willie Herrera is her son-in-law.
Oh, okay.
So I got to know him very well, and I sat in there and I smoked the freshly rolled cigars.
How was that, man?
It was good. I never had a freshly rolled cigar before, so that was different. To see the difference when a cigar is so young versus, after it's been aging, for 6 months, 7 months, a year, So surprisingly, the cigars are very good from infant stage.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's what I've heard. I've heard that when you go down there, I mean, you're smoking some of the really, really good stuff that maybe we don't really get up here as much.
Right.
And I don't know, exactly how all that works, but I've heard several guys say they went down there and it's like whatever they have is like tobacco that we don't even know about. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So you launched your cigar line in August. How's the progression been since then?
It's going good. With El Milagro, we had 2 blends through El Titan de Bronze. So those have been selling really good. Because, a lot of people know about El Titan de Bronze because they produce Warped, and Herrera Steli Miami comes out of there. La Polina Goldies come out of there. So they have some very good cigar companies that are produced out of El Titan de Bronze. So,
okay. So they start off right off the bat with a good reputation.
Yeah, and El Titan de Bronze is well known on Calle de Ocho Street down in Miami. So this a factory has been around a long time, and like I said, they produce cigars for some great companies. I think Cornelius and Anthony comes out of there too, or they did.
Oh, okay. So are you doing this by yourself, or do you have a partner? What's your business strategy there?
I am the main person.
Okay.
I did have a partner. He stepped down, so he still works with me. He just stepped down from being a partner because he had some other obligations he needed to take care of. So I'm the main guy, and then I have a few people that work with me to help me out.
So if someone wants to find the Black Star Line Cigars, where would they want to look to find you, or your webpage, or your where would they be able to find more information?
Well, the website is www.b as in boy, S as in Sam, L as in Larry, cigars.net. So that's www.bslcigars.net.
Okay.
Now I do have a retailer page on the website. So we're carried in 5 locations in Chicago, We carried a Night Cigars in Connecticut, 2 locations in Atlanta, one actually in Atlanta, Havana, ATL cigar shop, and then Wine Me down at Alpharetta. Underground cigar shop in Fort Worth.
Oh yeah, nice. You got something going on in Texas. We're happy to see that.
Yeah. Underground carries us. Smoke Ring in Houston carries us. Cigar Federation just recently picked us up, so they have all 3 faces that we have.
Oh, nice.
So, yeah. And we're still a young company, so we're still getting around and there's not that many people that can help me out. So a lot of the work I'm doing myself, but I have at least 5 or 6 other places that want to pick us up. But COVID-19 hit, and everybody's more concerned about making sure they can pay everybody they have employed right now.
Sure.
New cigars. So
right. I mean, the priorities definitely changed over the last 4 or 5 weeks.
Yeah, because when I send the samples out, or I actually go talk to different lounges, they like the cigars. It was really bad timing as far as the COVID-19 and the stuff that's going on. So.
Right. So are you in the middle of developing your game plan for what you're going to do after COVID-19 kind of hopefully recedes?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Everybody said to call them back when everything's going back to regular, and, we're going from there. So
I got you. So let me ask you this. Before you decided you wanted to get into the cigar industry as a business, how long have you been smoking cigars?
Really not that long. It's been about 6 years or so.
That's funny, because that's probably, I guess that'd be 14. I started probably in about 2010, 2011, but it was just kind of random, smoke a cigar here or there. I really didn't, jump right in. But then after about probably, I don't know, 4 to 6 months, it's like I smoked a Christoph that just spoke to me, and it was like, bam, now I was in it. So did you have that kind of moment where it was like, oh yeah, I do enjoy this? Yeah.
I actually started one of my buddies from the firehouse, got me smoking cigars. And, I initially started off with it's a black cherry infused cigar from a local lounge here in Chicago, and I really liked it. So I went to a lounge that's close to my house called Smoky Bear, and I was, I didn't know anything about cigars. So, my second cigar, I went from a black cherry infused cigar to a Dirty Rat by Drew Estates.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Because the young lady was telling me, it's a full body and that type of cigar. I really didn't know what full body meant, so I was like, yeah, give me that. It's I was like, I think I'm a full body guy.
Right.
So I smoked it, and I liked it a lot. And I smoked a few more full body cigars, and then I was like, hey, let me go back to the black cherry, and because I liked it. And I went back to that cigar, and it tasted terrible.
Right.
So I never smoked an infused cigar after that.
Right. It's funny because I've gone back and smoked some of the old cigars that I started out with, and it's like, oh, that was bad.
Yeah. Yeah, my palate changed really fast.
Yeah. So that's kind of where I am. I made the escalation from, medium to full body to super full body, and now I usually smoke somewhere in the middle to middle plus. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so that's my go-to. And I thought that War Witch, man, that was really nice with, I drink a lot of Sumatran coffee and a Costa Rican blend. And, man, that stick is perfect with the Sumatra coffee.
Okay. Yeah, I have to try that.
Yeah, absolutely. Are you a big coffee drinker?
Not a huge one, but I will drink it. I'm more so a Scotch guy.
Oh, well, let me ask you this. Have you ever tried Springbank?
Of course.
Yeah, that's my go-to Scotch. I had some of that last night, and then I've got a few different ones, but that's my go-to. It's it's a very affordable Scotch, and at the same time, it's super smooth. And now let me ask you this: if you knew this, so Springbank is the last Scotch made by hand.
Okay. No, I didn't know that.
They don't use computers. They don't use machines. It's all done the old way, and it's the last Scotch that's done that way.
Oh, wow. Yeah, that's a cool fact. I didn't know that.
Yeah, and I mean, really, their price point, I think on the 10-year, the 10-year is about $60. So I mean, you can't beat that.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yep.
So
I think Springbank 15 is my favorite one.
Yeah, I've had the 15 and the 12, and the 15. I really didn't think the 12 was that big of a deal change from the 10, but the 15 was pretty impressive.
Yeah, that's a good one.
So, do you have anything on the horizon, or are you kind of like at a standstill while the COVID virus is going around?
Well, Terrence Riley and I have been talking about a Maduro version of the War Witch.
Okay, very nice.
So, the War Witch is, depending on who you're talking to, it's like Boston Jimmy. He flat out said it. Towards the end, it was a full body. Because it kind of ratchets up towards the middle of the stick. It goes from like medium full, and then it's like pedal to the metal as far as the strength. Like it just picks up, so that the War Witch that's currently out is kind of deceptively strong. I'm thinking about doing a full body, all the way full body version of the War Witch with a Maduro wrapper. So we're putting together the sample so I can sit around and smoke them and see what I think of them and what needs to be changed, and that'll be
with Aganorsa Leaf as well, right?
Right.
Well, we're big fans.
I'm sorry, say it again.
I said we're big fans of the Aganorsa Leaf. We had Terrence Riley on the show last year, and man, I'm a big fan of a lot of different cigars that use the Aganorsa Leaf.
Yeah.
So where can people find you, like on Instagram, Aric?
It's just the name of the company, Black Star Line Cigars.
Okay, cool. Well, we want people to be able to find you guys. I highly recommend the War Witch. That was one of my favorite cigars that you sent me, and so I definitely think that's one of my favorites that you should try.
Yeah, Ira Busto just finished a review of War Witch 2, and Noah just loved it.
Oh, good.
Yeah, he said it's box worthy. That he just loved everything about it, the profile, the strength. He just said it was a great cigar.
Hey, that's what you want to hear, right?
Oh yeah.
Well, excellent. All right, man. Well, hey, we appreciate you taking the time to join us on the show, and we wish you much success. And if you ever need any help on our end, feel free to reach out anytime, brother.
Yeah, I definitely will. I appreciate you having me on the show.
Hey, man, well, take care of yourself. And like we said, we appreciate what you're doing out there on the front lines. Be safe, and any chance you get, keep smoking, my friend.
All right, thank you.
All right, take care, brother. Hey guys, hope you enjoyed that interview with Aric from Black Star Line Cigars. I've smoked a couple of them. I really like that War Witch, and it's a really nice Connecticut. And anyway, appreciate him coming on the show, telling us a little bit about his story. And if you guys want to look him up, we'll have a link down below for his website. And anyway, it's that time of the show again for the AJ giveaway.
Yes, sir.
We got AJ Fernandez as our giveaway special every week right now. Mm-hmm. And if you're the winner, you get 2 AJ Fernandez sticks right out of the Cigar Talk Vault.
Yes, sir.
Those are our private stash cigars. And so all you have to do to be in the running to win, tell them, Bryant.
Go to the website, register.
And what do you got to do to register?
Put your name and your email address.
That's all you got to do. Your email address and your name.
And it's free.
You're registered forever.
Do it once. You're always in.
You're registered until we die. Once me and Bryant die, the game's over.
Yeah, both of us have to be gone.
So anyway, this week, we pulled it up. Let me see who it was. It was somebody interesting.
Yes.
It was a name that I was like,
yeah,
that's cool. Let's see. The winner is Ruben Espinosa.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Congratulations, Ruben. And the part of the email, just so you know, in case there's 2 Ruben Espinosas, is there's a 1991. So anyway, Ruben, shoot me an email before next Sunday at 1800 Central. That's 6 p.m. for you non-military guys. Anyway, all you got to do is in the subject line, put AJ winner, and in the body, just give me your name and your mailing address, and I'll get those shipped out to you right away.
Yes.
And you'll get to enjoy a couple of AJ Fernandez sticks, which is what I'm enjoying right now. And this cigar, the New World Cameroon, lights out.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And I can promise you, Ruben, if you notify me, you'll be getting one of these Cameroons.
Yeah. That's great, man. Yes, Ruben. Make sure you get in contact with him before 1800 at 6 o'clock p.m. Central Time next Sunday.
The following Sunday.
Yes, sir.
That's correct. So anyway, let's talk just a minute about air purification, because Medify has changed our environment completely. I mean, and it's funny because I had another podcaster reach out to me and he was like, hey, tell me what you really think of Medify. And I was like, dude, I'm not BSing. It's night and day.
Yep.
And he was like, well, I got a guy that was looking for something to do some air purification. And I was like, hey, you tell him to get it. I'll put my name on it all day long, because if I say it's something good, I'm not BSing, because I don't want someone to buy something and then they'll be like, man, Rob screwed me.
Yeah, and come back at you.
Right. So when I say that this thing is like magic, my wife came in here and we watched Ozark. I was corrected by our Australian friend. Anyway, it's Ozark, the show. Anyway, we came out here and watched like 3 episodes, and I'm smoking a cigar the whole time, and my wife doesn't bother her at all.
That's cool then, because
I mean, it's clean air. And my wife doesn't smoke, so the air purifier is not just Rob Jones and Bryant approved. It's Bethany approved. So go by our website, click on the link that says air purification, and you'll see a code Medify Smoker. If you order anything, you get 10% off. And I am so happy with mine that my wife was asking me, have you got a new filter for it yet? Nope. You know how long the filters last? 6 months.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's real good.
And
because we had another humidifier, whatever you want to call it.
Dude, that was like 30 days.
Yeah, 30 days. It didn't even last 30 days.
No. And when I opened it up and looked at the HEPA filter on the inside, that thing was black. So, and then the Honeywell that we had, I changed the filter on it once a month, and it was still not, it wasn't even performing.
Nope.
So the great thing about Medify, if you don't know, is they use medical grade HEPA filters, which is the only filter that cleans out smoke. So if you're cleaning out the smoke,
this is what you need.
Yeah. And it's not just that. They also have a charcoal filter in between the HEPA filter, or the medical grade HEPA filter, and the actual machine. So it also takes out the smells.
Yeah. All those filaments and smells that go with it. So.
And if you need to, you can use the ionizer. Did I say that right?
Yeah.
Ionizer.
There
you go.
There you go.
That thing, I don't use it when I'm in here, but it says it doesn't hurt anything. But you can run that and it'll like turbocharge everything. So whenever Ed borrowed it, he put that on, and I think his like house was like doves flying when the doors open.
Oh man!
Anyway,
yeah, that's what a Texan would do. He said, "Turbo, use it."
Right. Hey, so let's talk about football for a minute. First of all, right now, I think it's kind of up in the air if there's even going to be a season.
Jesus,
what do you think?
I truly believe it's up in the air. Well, we know we won't have a preseason, so.
Well, I mean, the way things are going now, I don't even know if there's going to be a season.
And if there isn't a preseason, how could you have a season? Because everybody needs to get prepared. They have to get prepared for it. And if you don't give a professional player, especially a professional football player, the opportunity to get their body ready for the first game, you're looking for a disaster.
Well, and the other thing I heard was they're actually exploring what it looks like having a game with no one in the stands.
It's crazy. Remember when NBC tried to do that telecast with no announcers?
No.
Oh yeah, back in the day they tried to do it. They did a telecast with no announcers. It was just a game plan.
You know what? They should do that for Monday Night Football now.
They need to do that whenever Chris Collinsworth is speaking. But anyway, that was the worst thing. Cause when you're at a game, it's perfect because you have somebody else next to you that you can play off of. But when you're sitting at home by yourself watching TV and the game is just playing and you don't hear even the worst voice ever, Chris Collinsworth's voice, that is terrible, man. So how could you play the game without people there? Especially for a home team. You know how a home crowd can give that team
For the team, I think it would be more impacting on the team than it is the fans.
Yes.
Talk about no home field advantage.
Ooh, it's gone.
Yeah.
That's gone.
And
teams like Seattle with that 12th man.
Hey, but I will say this: a lot of people are getting used to a lot of things they never thought they'd be used to.
Hey,
you know what I mean?
I got to be. That is true.
So it's you can't say it won't happen.
No.
Because if the fans can't come, the only way the NFL can make any kind of money is putting it on TV.
Because it has to be televised.
And I would think that, I don't know how their ratings would be if there's no fans in the crowd.
It'd be more fans to watch.
Well, yeah.
And see, that's the thing that has changed the NFL anyway, because there's more money because of those television contracts.
Oh, absolutely. That's where the main
money comes from is TV, Yeah, you go in there and you had to pay $27 for a hot dog, but it still don't manage to the billions that NBC, ABC, not ABC no more, it's ESPN, NBC, ESPN, CBS, Fox is throwing at these
major
at the NFL.
Mega million deals.
Yeah, man.
I wouldn't even be surprised if it's not $1 billion contract.
The NFL is $1 billion corporation, man. And not just one. There's another number in front of that other than one.
So anyway, guys, that's going to wrap it up this week.
Hey.
If you haven't, we're going to hopefully have the show uploaded to YouTube. If you want to go by there and watch it, you can watch it. The only thing is you're not going to have the interview section on the YouTube video. We do that teleconference with Aric earlier in the week. Mm-hmm. So we will try to get to where we can have whoever we're interviewing on the video as well. It shouldn't be that difficult, just something we haven't ever done before.
Just figuring it out. Knowledge.
That's right. We're stuck home, so we're trying to figure stuff out. So anyway, guys, that's going to wrap it up. We hope you enjoy the show, and until next week,
keep smoking.